All right, thank you for joining. So today I wanted to go over Sui USDT on the Bybit chart. So this one I have been keeping an eye on for quite some time. As you can see, it had a massive sell-off followed by a very impulsive move to the upside, right? And what we can see is that it just took the all-time high, which was at around March this year. So what we can tell from what's happening right now is that we've had a failed auction. So price attempted to trade above the previous all-time high before getting rejected. Now we are trading below the all-time high. Now this is a very strong project in general. As you can see here, if I draw this trend line, we'd have numerous bounces off this trend line. Very strong bullish pattern, leading me to believe that we're still going to get continuation to the upside. And as you can see, it respected these highs too as well, right? So very bullish chart. What I can basically determine from this chart is when I went ahead and pulled this fixed range volume profile tool, you can see we have a high volume node at around $2.25. We also have another high volume node right around the value area high, and the highest would be the point of control. So since this is a failed auction, we did get that nice pullback, and I would expect a little bit more of a pullback, kind of going towards this point of control area, right? It's going to take a little bit of time and a lot of volume and sellers to really step in, because as you can see here, these high volume nodes also act as support and resistance, right? So right now we did bounce off these levels. We're back testing this all-time high as resistance. So in my eyes, I can see it pretty much doing something like this. If it continues very bullish, maybe just taps that daily and continues higher. If the sellers really do step in, then from here, I would expect at least to get a bounce from this point of control before aiming higher. And best case scenario, and I say best because this is where you can get in at a better entry, is price can come down here, sweep the liquidity from here, here, and all these lows here, and even here, right? Bounce off this point of control, high volume node, maybe even sweep that low, come back up, and then continue higher. So this would be the best case scenario. Just taking out a lot of the liquidity here before continuing the rise to the upside, right? Let's go ahead and remove this right now. Now let me go ahead and see if there's any other high volume node from the previous weeks. All right, so last week price action pretty much ended. Look at that. So last week the price action ended at the all-time high, right? As you can see, high volume node. If we were to go ahead and draw a high volume node line right there, you can see that's exactly where price attempted to stay above, failed it, back tested it perfectly before continuing its rejection. Point of control sits at around $1.95. And just as I said before, these daily levels are very important, and that's sitting right above the value area low of last week's price action. So that first one I drew out earlier would kind of be a nice little setup, just kind of faking, breaking the trend line, making people think we're going to continue lower. Shorts come in, fill a lot of the longs, and then reclaim the trend line, and then price just continues higher, right? Obviously we can get a bigger sell-off, but in my opinion, I don't really see going lower than $1.50. If it does go down lower than $1.50, then the main target would obviously then be around here, right? Resistance, resistance, support, support. As you can see, let me go ahead and draw this box for you just so it's a little bit more clear, right? Because that was obviously resistance, resistance, support, 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 impulse. So worst case scenario, if we do get a massive dump from Bitcoin out of nowhere before continuation higher, I would expect to at least see price come down to $1, right? Worst case scenario. But I do see 150 being tapped if we just get a little bit of a bearish push. But obviously you can see Sui has just been extremely strong, right? Extremely, extremely strong. So right now we're just seeing exactly what price does here. Let's go ahead and pull some fibs. That might be the 50% retracement mark. Yeah, pretty much lining up with the previous all-time high. It's battling the 382 right now. But yeah, I would not be surprised to just see it come up, tap that level, regain acceptance in the previous week's price action, and then continue just a little bit lower, right? So we'll see how this all plays out in the next few days or upcoming weeks. But right now, this is an extremely bullish chart, just nothing but higher highs and higher lows, right? It doesn't get any more perfect than that in terms of price action. So give it some time. We'll see how it all plays out. $1.50 is the best area to long if we get a nice rejection. $1.85 is a nice area to try along to see if we do get continuation, faking this trend line up. And in worst case scenario, if all these levels fail, then $1 would be the best bet next, right? Psychological level. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. And leave a comment below with any projects you'd like to see me chart, and I'll do my best to get them out within 24 hours. Take care.